Rose Mystery School today on Archangel Michael. Of course, the Shiva card comes flying out the second I start the live. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm going to give just a few minutes for everyone to trickle in. This is week 2 of our 4-week series of Blue Rose Mystery School, as we did finally launch the online mystery school on Patreon. So you could go on Patreon, patreon.com/Blue Rose Mystery School. Hello. And you can find us on Patreon for Mystery School. Hi, Jaden. How are you? But yeah, whenever you get here, feel free to take in a deep breath. Just connect with that inner source of yours. Grab a pen and paper as you can, because we have just entered Mystery School. Now we are going to be getting in just a quick reading before we start today. Hello, 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 everyone. If you are here and present, feel free to put a blue heart and a sword for Archangel Michael in the comments below. Yes, let's go, Archangel Michael. Now, this is going to be a 4-week series on YouTube Live that I'm doing as we launch the Blue Rose Online Mystery School on Patreon. It's only $33 a month for weekly rituals, ancient mysteries and secrets that is esoteric. You're just not going to find it online. Sometimes even in books you're not going to find. And so that's the spot for us to be. Yes, drop those blue hearts and the swords for Archangel Michael today. But whenever you get here, feel free to just take in a deep breath, connect with that inner source of yours. You can know what part still, because we're going to be getting in a reading too, maybe for you. We have You Are a Healer over here. Blessings. Archangel Michael wanted to come through for week 2, as this topic has just been coming up in my own life with my soul brothers and sisters of the angelic realm. And I remember telling a soul brother, you know, the angels are different in Mystery School than in the Hebrew Bible, right? He was like, what do you mean by that? And so we went into a deep dive a few weeks ago, and that along with a few other conversations is what led Archangel Michael here today. What does Archangel Michael feel to you? Feel free to just put it in the comments below too, as yes, we're in Blue Rose Mystery School, but this is also just an open talk and conversation of Archangel Michael. So we're going to be diving not only into his love and light side, which is what we see in the Bible. So the Hebrew Bible is exoteric information. We're diving into, so we're skipping over the mesoteric. We're just diving right into the esoteric of Archangel Michael. And that's just kind of going over a little bit of what his shadow is, because Archangel Michael, like us all, does have a shadow. You know, when we see Archangel Michael from this mystery school and esoteric perspective, you know, we're reclaiming so much of Archangel Michael's presence, so much more of his protection, just so much more of the truth of who Archangel Michael actually is and how to work with him. Angelic protection. He helped with my sword against not of my highest will. Yes. Now, yeah, Makari. Hi, Makari, by the way. Soul brother. Hello, 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 everyone. Yeah, Archangel Michael is a king of the astral realm. So when it comes to astral travel and the astral realm, Archangel Michael is who you want. Like, do not start astral traveling without Archangel Michael or just some other powerful protector. But I will say, Archangel Michael's that guy. Like, when it comes to the astral, where he even has a nickname of the undefeated angel. You know, and not that he's never been undefeated or things like that, but that he is a spiritual warrior. He's the king of warfare. You know, so we're just going to be looking at angels from a mystery school perspective, which is not all love and light. You know, each angel, you know, even the archangels, they all have a shadow. And so when we are able to reclaim that wisdom, that ancient wisdom, we're able to work with that archangel so much more. You know, like say for example here, and you may see me look at my notes over here. When I go live or when I do workshops, I always try to have some notes, because you guys, you all know me, all of us Pisces, and beyond the Piscean energy, we just go with the flow, right? Hi, Wassian, how are you? Hi, Ashley, how are you? Yes, feel free to get out your pens, your papers. I have sigils over here. We're going to be going over everything about Archangel Michael. And I actually don't want to say everything because we could be here for a while. But I am going to be going over just some of the mystery school teachings that maybe you know, maybe you don't, whoever you are. We're just going to be diving deep into the mysteries of Archangel Michael. Esoteric is to dive deep to get information. So I guess we'll just go over that before we even start with Archangel Michael. Hi, Gregor Girl Tarot. How are you? That one was a tongue twister for me. Gregor Girl Tarot. I love it. My middle name starts with the G too. Hey. Hi, Ja. How are you? Yeah, so the Hebrew Bible, mass religions, mass media, that's exoteric. So that's basically surface level information where it's like angels have wings. And that's what an angel looks like. And that's the exoteric. Mesoteric is kind of what we're doing here, where we're on YouTube. We're on, say you may see an ancient symbol on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, etc. That's when you start to dive deeper, where you're like, oh, Archangel Michael is exoteric information. But with this symbol here, it's guiding me to dive deeper. And that's the mesoteric information. And then we dive deeper into the esoteric, where it's a direct experience, a direct mystical initiation and connection with God directly. Whether that be with like another ancient one, you know, so like a high priest, priestess, guru, whatever, teacher. It could also be a direct mystical experience that you have with God directly. It could also be in plant medicine. That's the esoteric, where you're diving deep for that information that you're not going to find it in mass media. You're not going to find it in the churches, you know, etc. Yes. Oh, email me. I do have PDFs over here, so feel free to email, well, on the computer. So email me if you would like a PDF of some of this. Yes, from Wicked and Pestilence. Yes. Let's grab one card as we start Blue Rose Mystery School today. What do we need to know the most as we approach the collective, the ancient souls here, all signs, as we approach this Archangel Michael? Earth magic over here, reclaiming your magic. Yes, Archangel Michael is how you stand your ground over here. Through the power of love, okay? We do have love, we have stand your ground, and then we do have earth magic, and then we do have emotional healing over here. All right, so we're gonna dive deep. Like the live, yes, thank you. Like the live, feel free to share the live so other ancient souls can see this. Now, even with the emotional healing here, we're diving deep today. So get your 8th house, 12th house placements ready. Sagittarius, I guess, is learning too. Sagittarius expansion and learning. But Archangel Michael, and you know, all angels are so multidimensional. I love speaking, sharing the space where we have these open conversations of these different gods and goddesses and diving deep into them in ways that maybe I haven't or that you haven't, you know, sharing reflections, because we are all infinite mirror fractals of God. You know, but when it comes to Archangel Michael, at least for me, now I've at least shared my story that I was raised very strict Christian, very strict. My family is still involved in the church. So I only knew of Archangel Michael as like, you know, he's an angel of God, you know, or the right hand of God is how I knew of him. You know, once I took that mystery school journey of just my own esoteric dive, you know, Archangel Michael and all angels, they do have a shadow side, you know, and so we know, or I used to know of Archangel Michael. And really, I think I was raised of Archangel Michael keeps you away from all the witches, you know, but like a witch is not a bad term. So there's even unlearning there where there's a lot of religious programs, you know, of Archangel Michael, where it's like, oh, Archangel Michael helps us from witchcraft. Black magic, but not witchcraft. You know, like if you see someone healing themselves in the river, Archangel Michael is not responding to your request. If someone throwing black magic at you, Archangel Michael is going to destroy it, you know? And so Archangel Michael, when we reclaim him from a perspective that doesn't have to do with religion, but just his light being, his light self, who Archangel Michael is, you know, we're able to really use him to call upon him in his totality, in the multidimensional spectrum of who he is and what he can actually do in the astral realm, the mental, emotional, the spiritual realm. Because Archangel Michael is a badass, which is why he's considered the undefeated archangel. But there's so much more to him when we take away the religious programs. You know, like, oh, he fights against magic. Not necessarily. He fights against black magic, you know. But again, I was someone who, I was raised very Christian. So I used to think of Archangel Michael as against everybody who's not of the light, you know, and then even there's so many layers to that. However, feel free to get out your pen and paper. We're going to go over just a few traits of Archangel Michael, and then the ways that he may show up in the astral realm for you, the spiritual realm, the mental realm, the emotional realm. You know, Archangel Michael is awesome for cutting cords, for releasing emotions, releasing even thought forms. So we're going to dive deep. Archangel Michael, though, is actually the sun. And so if we think of, for example, the day is actually Sunday. So Archangel Michael's day is Sunday. You know, say you're wanting to deepen your connection to Michael, which we'll go over the sigils too. You could just go on Google and print out a sigil. You know, you get a piece of paper, put it over, you trace it. And so that's how you could start also working with the sigil, which I'll just show you them here now. This one is a little bit more, not advanced, but there's also this Archangel Michael sigil that just has a little bit less work to do, but they're both sigils of Archangel Michael. You know, so you could always go on Google, print it out like I did here, and then you trace it. You know, so I have a blessed and consecrated, like a just pure metal pendant of this that I have. You know, you could always get a pendant, you could draw it, but this is a sigil, this is a talisman. It's very, very powerful. Yeah, okay. Archangel Michael's day is Sunday. So if you were to say leave an offering or just light a candle, even if it's a 5-minute prayer with a white or blue candle, which it could be really any color, that's one way that you could start to just deepen your connection to Archangel Michael, specifically on Sundays, because Sunday is actually his day. And he is a fire angel. You know, where the seraphims are also angels of fire. You are a fashion designer. Ooh, that's beautiful. Blessings to your brand. That's beautiful. Yes, I love it. Feel free to put any questions, anything about Archangel Michael in the comments, and I'll read it out loud too if you have anything on Archangel Michael to share with everyone else. Yeah, he's the element of fire. So he's embodied by the sun. Which they actually say in mystery schools, he's very closely associated to Ra. So the energy of Ra, how Ra feels, that's the energy of Archangel Michael. Not to say that they are the same thing, but in mystery school, you will see Ra and Archangel Michael compared to one another. You know, again, not to say that they're the same thing, but in many mystery schools, they're compared to one another. They're seen as a very similar thing. So Ra and Archangel Michael, similar in energy. When we think of Ra, the sun, just pure fire. That's just pure alchemical fire. You know, so when it comes to anything to do with alchemy, Archangel Michael is also awesome for that. You know, just like I said, the mental, emotional field, Archangel Michael helps me in releasing, say, heavy emotions, negative thought forms or energies, even emotions, energy that maybe is not yours. You can always call upon the sword of Archangel Michael to help you cut through and to transmute and alchemize those energies. But you will see him with the blue flame, you know, and so the way that Archangel Michael also shows up for you is going to be different than anyone else. Where for me, I don't see his form. When he shows up for me, he shows up as a sword that's like as big as the earth. And I had a dream once of Archangel Michael showing up in that way, and ever since then, for me, I don't see like an angel. I see a huge sword. It's huge and just like pure platinum light. So not even like metal and the way that we know of it, more of platinum light. So yeah, he's the element of fire. Now, as far as the direction too, so when you're calling upon the directions, he is the south direction. And so when you're calling on the protectors, the guardians, you know, say in ritual or a shamanic ceremony, You know, you call upon all of the angels, which each angel does have a direction. When you call upon the south, you're calling upon Archangel Michael. So even if you call upon the 4 angels for your directions in a ceremony or a ritual, it's the same thing as calling the directions, because they do embody those elements or those directions. Oh, Kelly, I love that. I love that Archangel Michael called you here. Hi, Crown. How are you? Yeah, feel free to put in all of your stories of Archangel Michael, any questions, and I'll read them out loud to everyone here. So yeah, he's the direction of the south. So when you call upon the south, you're calling upon Archangel Michael. Some stones, do I have any stones here? Yeah, I did bring selenite. Really any stone that cuts through. So obsidian is great. Selenite for Archangel Michael is great. The amethyst stone is also great for Archangel Michael. And when we think of like crystals rather, like obsidian, amethyst, or selenite, all of these have that like cutting through element where this just cuts through energy. And so any stone or crystal that cuts through, you could definitely use for Archangel Michael. It's not necessarily of like clear quartz or this or that, but the ones that cut through, those are the kind of stones you want when working with Archangel Michael. Oils, cinnamon. Cinnamon is anything that's like fiery, you know, so you think of things like cinnamon. Patchouli is also awesome. Myrrh is awesome. Hey, Joseph, how are you? Blessings to you, Joseph. Archangel Michael here. Thank you, Anik. Yes, feel free to put in the comments below a blue heart and an Archangel Michael sword as an emoji. Hey, Royal, how are you? Hey, Eric, how are you? I love that I can like see your usernames, but I also just know who you are too. The parts of the body for Archangel Michael is the heart and the small intestine, you know, and so Archangel Michael, you know, not to say I am not a medical doctor, I'm not giving any medical advice at all whatsoever, I'm just talking here. If, you know, if those things are coming up, you could connect with Archangel Michael, as well as any herbs that are, you know, can benefit you, etc. But as far as the body, he is associated with the heart and with the small intestine. Would you drink beer with me while we crank Aerosmith? I stopped drinking. For those who are on my email list, my email newsletter, it's free, so feel free to join it. I don't really drink. I haven't drank in years. I'm what they call as light as a feather now after this journey. After my shamanic journey, I am as light as a feather. So I don't drink. I used to like Blue Moon though. See, there goes the blue there. Excellent. Greetings. Yes, greetings. Hello, April Wright. So those are some of the qualities of Archangel Michael. Those are some ways that you can deepen your connection to Archangel Michael, working with the south, working with the element of fire, which Archangel Michael is, working with the sun, which Archangel Michael is the sun, working with these oils, cinnamon, patchouli, myrrh, frankincense. Those are awesome, you know, and always these are things rather that are associated with Archangel Michael. But whatever that your body, your mind, your soul is telling you, you know, feel free to also just follow that inner compass here. I cannot drink, very low tolerance. Yeah, no, I got all of that out at a very young. I'm glad I did it at a very young age and not as an older adult. But after this shamanic journey that I've been on, I am, you know, I'm on a shamanic journey. I'm a medicine woman. I work with the spirit of tobacco. So I work more with like combo, spirit of tobacco, the very grounding medicines. But yeah, that did it. Let's get into Archangel Michael's shadow over here, because Archangel Michael is not just a love and light angel. Archangel Michael is the angel of death. Okay, Archangel Michael is the angel of death, and that is the truth. You know, and we think of death, you know, not in the sense of like fear and things like that, but transformation, you know, spiritual transformation. Dean Chappelle. I collect selenite. Yes, I love selenite. Is awesome. Selenite's really awesome when it comes to cleansing, clearing. I use selenite to energetically scan, and so I'll energetically scan my auric field and just, I imagine the selenite pulling out and extracting just whatever doesn't serve me, whatever's not of my own. Let's talk about that shadow side of Archangel Michael. Number one, Archangel Michael is not an angel that will defend against religion. He's the cosmic blue ray of light. So Archangel Michael is associated with the unity ray, the rainbow ray, as well as the cosmic blue ray of light. The cosmic blue ray of light is the ray of God's will and truth, which Archangel Michael embodies. And so that's why I said earlier, you can't call upon Archangel Michael if you just see someone in the middle of the woods. Like if you see a witch, and I'm just going to say, if you see a witch in the middle of the woods bothering nobody, just, I don't know, making a healing potion, you cannot send Archangel Michael to her. Archangel Michael is not going to go to her. But Archangel Michael, when it comes to things like black magic, right? Like the curses, just things like that. Archangel Michael is a beast. Archangel Michael will destroy that. And so Archangel Michael doesn't work for our egos, and that's actually something Archangel Michael is saying. Kind of similar to the Kali Ma energy though, which is interesting, right? Like one wouldn't think of Kali Ma and Archangel Michael in the same space or being compared to one another. Kali Ma holds a sword. Kali Ma is the goddess of truth. Kali Ma is the goddess of death. Similar energies, but right, Archangel Michael though doesn't embody that chaos part, but you see where I'm going with that one. Yes, we don't burn angels on the fire. I love that quote right there. So yeah, Archangel Michael is awesome for the astral. For anyone who feels that they're very galactic, or say if you naturally astral travel, if you're thinking about astral traveling, you want Archangel Michael. The astral realm does not work like we do. The astral realm does not know good or bad. Where we are more with our own human opinions thinking, well, that's bad, that's good, or that's positive, that's negative. The astral realm doesn't work like that, and so Archangel Michael is awesome for protecting you in the astral realm, cleansing your astral realm. So anything astral, you want Archangel Michael. Spiritual warfare, Archangel Michael's awesome at spiritual warfare. But again, I bring up the conversation of like making sure that you are rooted in your truth, because Archangel Michael has this sort of truth. So say for example, I don't know, say you're walking through the woods and you see a witch that's not bothering anybody and they're just making a healing potion. That's not spiritual warfare where you're like, oh my gosh, there's a witch, I gotta get Archangel. Archangel Michael's not gonna do anything to that girl or that man because they're living in their truth. They're not harming anybody. They're not doing anything. So Archangel Michael, again, the highest truth, the occultic mystery school truth of Archangel Michael is he does not protect you necessarily against witches, but he will protect you against black magic, where it's beyond religion. And that's where it just goes to the cosmic blue ray of light. The cosmic blue ray of light is not tied to any lineage, any religion, just that ray of truth, whatever that may be for you in your soul truth. So he holds that sword of truth. He's associated with the cosmic blue ray of light, and like I said over here, he's the angel of death. So when it comes to those energies that are not of your soul's highest truth, say that are not in alignment with God's will, etc., his sword will slay those energies in your life. So what is not of truth? Black magic, right? When someone's trying to control, and that's all that black magic is, it's control. It's not just someone that has a candle. It's people who are trying to control other lineages and religions. It's people that are trying to control your soul expression and your soul truth. Your soul's truth is your soul truth. So Archangel Michael is the protector of your soul truth. And so that's what Archangel Michael is saying, is that that's even a coming home maybe for some people, or maybe even for myself, where he's not of like the truth, of like there's just this one way. What is your soul's truth? What's your unique soul blueprint? Why did you come here? What's your soul mission? What's your soul purpose? I have chosen, as I say that, Archangel Michael is going to protect your truth. Where again, say someone comes into control, but you are living in alignment, then he's going to protect you. And so when it comes to things like control, any form of control through any time and space, Archangel Michael is not going to allow that. Archangel Michael's sword is going to cut right through that. So he's the protector of your soul truth. Hello, hello, musically blessed. Blessings. I love that. I see Michael Jackson when I tap into Archangel Michael. I love that. I think Archangel Michael. I think Michael Jackson definitely was blessed with Archangel Michael as like a leading guide for sure. With his name being Michael and Archangel, I keep calling Michael Jackson Archangel Michael. Is that hilarious? Michael Jackson. I'm hearing hee. Sorry. But Michael Jackson, his name is Michael. You know, he was such a legend of truth, where he just really stood in his truth no matter what, you know, and yeah, I think there's definitely something there with that one. I connect with, as far as like passed over musicians and things like that, I really connect with Amy Winehouse for some reason. She comes through so much for me. Two very random ones. Pop Smoke, which has, yeah, and then Archangel, not Archangel Michael. We see the Michael Jackson thing over here. Amy Winehouse. Those two come to me more than others. We started at 1. Hi, Victoria. How are you? Yeah. Oh, Michael Jackson had such cosmic energies. I think any musician, which the cosmic ray of light, or the blue cosmic ray of light. So the blue cosmic ray of light is the ray of creativity. So I do think that any musician that has ever like been out there, any artist, painters, writers, etc., I do think each of them had a connection to the blue cosmic ray of light. Because the blue cosmic ray of light is the ray of co-creation and creativity. So I'm just like channeling here, but you would think of like people who make it big, like Michael Jackson, right? Where maybe they worked for that for lifetimes. It was one of their final lifetimes. What I'm also seeing though too is for them to make it that big, they were truly a co-creator. They were truly in their co-creation, you know, their whatever you want to say. For them to like do that, you know, where it's like no matter what opinions people have, they're holding the sort of truth of, nope, this is how God designed me. This is my unique soul blueprint. This is my unique soul expression. And so I hold up the sort of truth. And, you know, that's why Michael Jackson, right? Say like Justin Bieber, we're beyond human opinions. They're probably there for a reason. Spiritual, Akashic records. It was not a conference call, right? You know, so like you, I, anyone else can guess and this and that, but that's my theory of musicians and artists, that they're connected to the blue cosmic ray of light for sure. And the only reason, or say maybe the only way an artist can get that big, interesting, you know, we have that conversation coming out of Leo season. The new stars are people who are in alignment with their soul star chakra and expressing that truth. And I think that truth is what's going to truly make it far in the future, where you have to be authentic. Archangel Michael, right? That sort of truth. The only way in the future to make it is not through illusion. It's through sharing your authentic truth, whatever that is. People have had a lot to say about Michael Jackson. People had a lot to say about Jesus. So like once we get there, I'm like, people had a lot to say about Jesus. That's it. I'm just closing the conversation there. You know, where we read about him, people had a lot to say about him, and they still do. You know, so I think in general, and I actually love that Archangel Michael is bringing this message today too. When you're living in your sort of truth, doesn't matter what side, doesn't matter what comes up against you or this or that, you're living in your sort of truth, and you shall succeed. You shall remain, you know, you remaining in alignment will bring in everything that's in alignment on a soul level. Facts, yes. Yes, Leo's the performer, you know. And so when it comes to the Leo energy, the future stars, they're not going to be celebrities through illusion. You're going to hold up your sword of truth. And again, people will like it, people will not. In my opinion, that means nothing. I believe everyone has duality. You know, even when I look at Jesus, I don't see Jesus as a saint. Jesus flipped that table for rightful reasons and this and that, you know. And so I think in the future too, even from people who say look at celebrities or this or that, there's going to be this understanding that, you know, there's no illusions. People are not perfect. People are not saints. Not at all. If say there was a camera, I think on absolutely anyone, there's a moment that you stub your toe, you say the F word, or this or that, or I don't know, you had a French fry. Like, I don't know, things like that. You holding your sort of truth in the midst of your light and your shadow, that is what makes you shine bright. And remaining in that truth and alignment. Your personal balance is your personal balance, which is not going to look the same for everyone. Exactly. Oh, Michael Jackson had a Pisces moon. I didn't know that. There you go. And that's it for all the Pisces watching. It's Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I forgot it was Virgo season. It was yesterday. Happy birthday, you Virgos out there. Go check out where you have Virgo. If you're a Pisces, Virgo. A Pisces that comes into their power is one that is in union with their Virgo. It was just someone that said the other day, once a Virgo really taps into their Pisces, or a Pisces really taps into their Virgo, oh no. Now that is a magic manifester. If you balance both of that earthly energy and the spiritual, oh no. All bets off when it comes to your soul mission, your soul purpose. Yes. So let's get into the sigils as well. We'll keep diving deep, into Archangel Michael, whatever comes through. I did write down too. Funny, I forgot I wrote this down. Archangel Michael is who gave the ring to Solomon. So the story of Solomon, that he had a ring, that it could defeat like all dark spirits and evil spirits and things like that. That was given to Solomon from Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael gave him that sovereignty and that power. And so that story of Solomon's ring comes from Archangel Michael handing him that authority. So it had a big role to do with the Library of Thomas. With everything that Solomon is, Archangel Michael was a part of that. And so there wouldn't be the Solomon that we know of today without Archangel Michael giving him that ring. Or that sovereignty, the authority, the remembrance, whatever you want to call it. Yes, put in the comments the blue heart and the sword for Archangel Michael. Now, working with Archangel Michael's sigil. I have a candle here. You can get, for Archangel Michael, he's associated with fire. The colors, at least for me, that resonate the most are white and blue or purple, because he's so astral and he's so cosmic, but whatever resonates with you. Now, I drew my own. I actually didn't trace it. So I drew my own over here. You could put it underneath the candle. You could draw it on the candle. You could just simply draw the sigil. Keep it above a doorway. Keep it over your bed. Keep it on your altar and just look at it. Now that's diving deep into esoteric initiation, where like the deeper and deeper you go into the esoteric, there's no more words. It's just someone showing up like this. And then the esoteric is like, okay, now figure it out, kind of thing. Yes, exactly. And so you could print this out from Google. Type in Google Archangel Michael sigil. You could also make your own talisman. I have a metal necklace that has this as well. Yes, exactly. So right over here, you could print this out. You can put a paper over it. You could trace it. You could keep this, on your altar. You could put it over your doorway, on your car, whatever resonates with you. If you want a sigil that's not as many little bits and things to do, you could use this one. So if you see any of these sigils, these are both considered Archangel Michael sigils. You could use it as talisman. You could use it again on your altar. You could draw it on your candles. But both of these talismen will work when it comes to invoking Archangel Michael, calling upon his protection, calling upon his clearing. If you want to cut cords, Archangel Michael's amazing for cutting cords, as Archangel Michael does it from such a loving, truthful just place. So I love Archangel Michael for cutting cords too. Yeah, feel free to put in any questions that you may have on just anything spirituality, maybe Archangel Michael too, Mystery School. Feel free to share your experiences with Archangel Michael. I will share it out loud to everyone else as well. So yeah, kind of just deprogramming a little bit of especially religious programming when it comes to Archangel Michael. You know, again, he will support you in protecting yourself from anything that's just basically trying to interfere with God's will when it comes to you. Where this is not of my highest truth. This is not my soul path. That's not in alignment with my soul destiny. And so Archangel Michael is going to support me in, I mean, he's a death angel, you know, so he's really going to destroy it. You know, he's the king of spiritual warfare. Undefeated archangel of spiritual warfare. All right, we're going to be getting in a reading too from Archangel Michael. Just anything that, oh, look at that card, just fell out like that. Initiation. Oh, yeah. Cartouche, divine names of power, Archangel Michael. Now I'll explain that actually, this part of the sigil, because it's coming through as like, hey, Jocelyn, my name is not Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has many names. You know, also all of us, you know, you were born with a name. You have many soul names of authority and sovereignty to reclaim. We have Michael, Sabbath. These are basically all just different names of Michael. So when you're saying that out loud, all these names, you're just saying Michael. If you were to take out some of the vowels, Mikal, right? Like a Mikul, right? The shortest version of Michael, which is just kind of like a grunt, right? It's like a mantra, a chant. And so just saying even Mko, Mko, like a hum, a vibration. And vibrating, that's the word I'm looking for. Vibrating the word Michael, Miku, Miku, Miku. That in itself calls upon Archangel Michael. You know, so that's like a mantra. It's a vibrational sound of saying Archangel Michael, Miku, Miku. And then any of these other names too, you could repeat those names and that will be calling upon Archangel Michael. I love that we got initiation for the first card over here. Yes, Archangel Michael's vacuum. Oh, beautiful soul, Victoria. Thank you for saying that. You reminded me of something. May Archangel Michael bless you. Go on, for everyone who's watching today, there is a Archangel Michael grid prayer. It's a vacuum. Now you will be creating a vacuum in your house, in your temple, in your car, wherever you do this prayer, you're creating a vacuum. You could go on Google and you Google Archangel Michael crystal grid prayer and you'll find a few different versions of it. But it's the one where it's like spinning out the grids and things like that. It's a grid system prayer. So if you want to work with the grid systems of your house, again, car, whatever resonates with you, you can work with that prayer. I will say it's a longer prayer where that's not a 5-minute prayer. Like that's a prayer that there's a lot of words where it's like maybe 10 to 20 minutes, but you're creating a vacuum. It's very powerful. So go on Google, type in Archangel Michael crystal grid prayer. And you'll find it in one of those first options or at least a few different versions of it. And just feel free to do what works for you. But you can create a vacuum just right wherever you are. I love that. I love that, Ja, what you just wrote there. Got the red over here. Yes, I love it. Ashe, yes. Yes, he was both light and dark. Yes, he was whole. Any deity, any angel is never just light. Even angels, you know, we're so programmed of like, oh, let me call upon the light. I'm going to call upon an angel. Not all angels. They have both. That's it. They're whole. Just like us, angels are whole. Even like the darker deities that you may think are like dark or this or that, they have a light side. Callie has a light side, etc. But even, how do I word this? Again, like Archangel Michael was saying that while he is a sort of authority, sometimes people think that Archangel Michael is the tell-all. Like if I call upon Archangel Michael, that's it. He is undefeated, but only in true spiritual warfare. Confirmation, 888. Confirmation as I say that. So you could be seeing the number 888. And that's why I say only true spiritual warfare, where like for example in mystery school, there's things where like you do have occult magicians that can bind angels, where it's not necessarily and that goes deep into it. I'm just reiterating information that exists in mystery school teachings, but like it goes really, really deep when it comes to the angelic realm, when it comes to Archangel Michael, etc. So yes, he's undefeated, but this realm, it just goes so deep. It's such a big dive. However though, if you know what you're doing, and if you're in your truth, so if it's truly spiritual warfare, Archangel Michael's got your back, that sword. I will say I've seen people throw angels at people that were never doing anything to them. And they ended up kind of getting into their own kind of stuff. So that's where it's just like when it comes to mystery school, you dance between the high priest and priestess. There's two pillars. And I have seen people, I'm going to call upon Archangel Michael. That person wasn't doing anything to you. Archangel Michael is a sword of truth. If you throw the sword of truth the wrong way, so that exists too. Well, let's get into this Archangel Michael reading. We have initiation over here. All right, now to initiate means to begin. Now it says Ra and Lady Isis. Now remember we said that Archangel Michael is closely associated with Ra. Not to say that they're the same things, but you may see people compare Ra and Archangel Michael. They're both of the sun, of fire, very similar energies. For all signs, for the ancient souls today, for the ancient souls, in this Archangel Michael reading. Why do we have initiation for this Archangel Michael reading? Why do we have initiation? Pyramid of light over here. Stepping the vibration deeper into love. And what's coming through with the card initiation and pyramid of light, wings of Isis, uniting with your angelic self. I love this. At least what comes through with these cards, right? Uniting with the angelic self on the bottom of the deck. Initiation, pyramid of light. When we can look at that shadow of Archangel Michael, that's when we're really coming back home to him. And that's what is coming through in these cards. You unite with your angelic self when you travel through the shadow. If we're holding on to Archangel Michael, trying to patrol all these religions, people that aren't doing anything, etc. That's not his actual highest truth. He's just a sword of the truth, of your soul's truth, of God's will for you, whatever that might be. So let's see what this is over here. We're going to dive deep. What do we have for ancient souls on Archangel Michael? What do we have for ancient souls on Archangel Michael? Initiation, pyramid of light, truth, Guanyin. Guanyin is also, I would say, such like a divine mother or goddess of truth. We do have Anana, believe in yourself, safe space over here. All right. I love that energy from Archangel Michael. So safe space, truth, life force energy. Your life force energy is your chi. It's that Reiki energy. It's the Sekam. It's that life force energy, your prana that flows through you. We do have kindness and nurturing, Guanyin, and believe in yourself. So it feels like there's a lot of the heart space here. I'm going to grab a few more cards. For the ancient souls, what do we have from Archangel Michael? Why initiation and pyramid of light for Archangel Michael? I love the wizard energy here. We have magical tools, writing, and star crafting. Yeah, where Archangel Michael actually started, people started talking about Archangel Michael in the occult, or the occult, say lineages, temples, whatever, before the Hebrew Bible, before the Abrahamic religions, etc. So we have writing, star crafting, magical tools. There goes all of that wizard energy. And then the leap, ecstasy, bliss, and belief. You know, where again, Archangel Michael is not necessarily an archangel that fights witchcraft. That would be saying that all witchcraft is bad. Archangel Michael will completely destroy anything that is not of your soul's highest truth. So if it's not of your soul's highest truth, if it's not in alignment with your soul destiny, it will be destroyed, it will be alchemized, transmuted, you will be very protected. You know, and so that's really what it is that he protects from. Let's see what we have here. Why initiation and pyramid of light for this reading on Archangel Michael? Why the pyramid, the temple path, the thinking woman or man? What Archangel Michael is saying too is that I'm feeling a lot of the mind and the psyche where there's almost this shift in perspective. Like it feels like for some of you watching me today, your experience with Archangel Michael may become even deeper than what it was. You know, where we're not even just looking him as like just this love and light angel. Like, no, he's a badass. He is an integrated shadow for a reason kind of thing. You know, so there's something about shifting perspectives here. We have man holding a heart. A lot about the heart space here, okay? And so heart, the higher heart is also Guan Yin over here. That could be a focus for you for this reading. I'm getting a lot of the heart all the way up to the crown chakra. So the upper chakras. What else do we have for Archangel Michael? Karmic debt is paid. For some of you, you need to hear that karmic debt is paid. What do we, DNA. What do we have for Archangel Michael? Oh, what's this past life? We're about to get to the tarot. We have ascension symptoms, DNA. All right, now some of you are going through DNA crystallization, DNA upgrades, and you may be going through ascension symptoms. Now, ascension symptoms are different for everyone, where it could be emotional purging. It could be a change in your diet. It could be like a change physically. That's going to be different for everyone. But definitely for some of you, you're going through ascension symptoms, and you're going through DNA upgrades right now. Now we do have past life. What does Archangel Michael want to say about this? Why do we have past life over here? Why do we have past life over here? You could see my face, right? And I know like my face is just like, they tend to like just, or rather my face tends to say things before I start like talking about the cards. For some of you, you lost a child in a past life, or you were an orphan in a past life. Why orphan and persecution for past life? Archangel Michael, what is this? Why past life with orphan and persecution? We have trust and faith in Egypt. So definitely have trust and faith in a situation over here. There was something about a child from a past life that karmic debt is paid over here. Now, you could have lost a child, or you could have even been an orphan yourself. But there's something, though, about persecution here. Still with the orphan energy. Where it actually feels like more of a decision that you made. Or maybe that someone else made regarding you. Say someone tried to persecute you for... Like, say you lost a child. Say for some of you, maybe you gave a child to adoption, whether that be a past life or this lifetime. Whatever the heck that this is, you were persecuted for it in a past life. It has to do with children. We have trust and faith here in Egypt. We do have Isis here, which is like a mother figure. And so it does feel like you're very protected. Ah, okay. I see where this is going now. I see where this is going now. Archangel Michael, just that sword in my mind's eye. Your truth is the truth. Archangel Michael is defending you in some sort of past life situation where you were telling the truth. That part makes me want to cry. I don't know where the moon is today. When the moon is in like Sag, Pisces, Scorpio, the tears come a little easier. Oh. Archangel Michael's defending you here. Anything to do when it comes to children, they cannot persecute you. They tried to in another lifetime. And that could be something of like Again, maybe you've gone through a court case and you're separated from your child. But you didn't want to do that. You didn't choose to do that. And then someone tries to persecute you for that. Say you live separately from your child. Say you're someone who maybe gave up, your child for adoption at some point in your life, or it does say past life. And so it may not be the exact same in this lifetime. Whoever's speaking, oh no, I feel like Archangel Michael now. Archangel Michael, just the full sword. Whoever has ever tried to persecute you when it comes to your children, oh no. Oh no. You know that TikTok sound or song? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Archangel Michael's sword protected you in this situation. For some of you, I'm hearing the exact words of like, oh, it's like someone's Bagalamukhi energy. For those of you who are familiar with Bagalamukhi, when it comes to Hinduism, pulling out the tongue. Someone said something that got them in trouble with Archangel Michael. And it had to do with children, though. That's why it's like, oh. All right, someone like tried to, something about your parenting, which is very interesting here. Now, this could be your childhood. This could be what you experienced as a child. Or, again, it's a little bit different in this lifetime, but you have a past life where there's something about separation between you and a child. Someone had something to say about it. Archangel Michael didn't like it. Because Archangel Michael knows that that wasn't the truth. And that's the kind of thing here, right? Where like, say someone has an opinion, right? Of whatever the situation is for you. I do see it was past life here. Whatever opinion is here, that's not the highest truth. That's someone's opinion from their mental, emotional state. And so Archangel Michael's going to protect you when it comes to your truth. Okay, interesting here. But we do have karmic debt paid. There you go. Walking away. What is the collective walking away from for this reading of Archangel Michael, from Archangel Michael? This reading from Archangel Michael for the Divine Collective. I just heard for the I Am Collective. I love that. Type in the comments below, I am that I am. I am that I am. Yes. Yeah. I've swept. I am the general. Yes, you are. I am that I am. I am. Yes. Archangel Michael is a spiritual warfare angel. Anything that is not of your soul's highest truth. All right. Yes, he does. The Legion of Angels. Yes. I love it. What do we have for ancient souls from Archangel Michael? We're going to get a 3-card spread. We're going to dive into this past life over here. Let's see what that is. What is your opinion on dinosaurs? I like dinosaurs. I have a bearded dragon. I'm sure at some point there was some sort of dinosaur version of them. Ask her where my wife is. Ooh, hello, Pata. Your wife is Sekhmet. Hello, Pata. I believe it's Pata with Sekhmet. Why the 8 of Cups for the ancient souls for this reading from Archangel Michael? Why the 8 of Cups and the 2 of Coins for this reading from Archangel? The Sun card. Okay. What some of you need to hear is Archangel Michael binded away some sort of entity, energy that was going to do something. Take away your joy, your happiness, whatever this is. It is binded away. Now again, mystery school teachings, or even angels, can be binded. That is the truth. I'm just reiterating what mystery school teachings will tell you if you were to go to mystery school. But Archangel Michael will bind evil, negative, etc. entities. And so he's able to bind them, and you bind them away to the regions of love. And so you're able to do that. You just send them to the regions of love where they can, I don't know, remember who they are, the entities. Let's dive deeper into this reading for you. For this reading for the ancient souls from Archangel Michael, why the 8 of Cups? You walked away from a group. Why the 2 of Coins here? For this reading for, there goes that sword. There goes that sword right there. Knight of Swords. It came in real quick. Oh, why the Sun card here? Oh, this is the beautiful reading from Archangel Michael. Yeah, the undefeated, where You had multiple people up against you. Multiple. You had a group of people or multiple people up against you. I don't know why I'm hearing family for some of you. You walked away from a group. You have the Knight of Swords here. That sword of truth, right? There's something about you and a group of people, or I don't know, just multiple people in your life, whether this be a group of people that kind of organized against you, or it was, oh wow, at the same time, there's like all of these people all at once, you know, where it's just like a big spiritual attack kind of energy. Number one, you got through that. Two, what I'm seeing is almost like a spiritual court system where that's what Archangel Michael is. So Archangel Michael is very similar actually to a Ma'at energy, the sword of truth, or that feather of truth. What is right, what is not as what is right or what is wrong. What is in alignment, you know, with the universal truth in the situation, right? Where someone could say that, oh no, but this is the truth. That's what they're doing. From a human mental perspective. Of like, but I think that person should be doing this. But what if that's not in their Akashic records? If it's not in their soul destiny, nobody can patrol or control what you do. You know, we are all only here to be in alignment with our soul destiny, our unique soul blueprint. And then there's actually I didn't create that. There's a high priestess that said, BYOB, bring your own boundaries after that. I love, the first time I saw that, BYOB, welcome to Mystery School, bring your own boundaries. Because the universal law is that there's a lot of stuff out there. I love this reading though. It feels like there was some sort of spiritual court of like, Archangel Michael's like, let's see all sides of this situation. Knight of Swords, Judgment, we have the Sun card over here. Whatever someone was saying about you wasn't completely true. Ooh. Sorry, that was extra loud. My mic is, I have two mics. The mic is right there, sorry. I'm saying ooh because, ooh, you were protected. Instantly protected over here. Someone's Bagalamuki Swaha Jaima. Now, you could also, like this is Archangel Michael. When it comes to things like this, Om Rim Bag, it's really Bugalamuki Swaha Jaima. It may be pronounced a little bit, you know, differently. Or the way you pronounce it, you know, may be a little bit different. However, you know, someone's tongue was pulled out over here. Because of what they were saying. And there's a song coming through. I think it's My House by Beyonce, but there's a part that she says like, who are they talking? Like, what are they saying? Something like that. Listen, Archangel Michael told this person, you need to watch your mouth. Where again, whatever this person was saying, it was not complete truth. This person was coming from their own opinions, their own judgments, their own life. That was not true regarding you. You know, that could be like someone looking at you. We're going to dive into what this past life is over here. What you do need to hear though, we're talking about that truth, right? Of the tongue and all of that. You were instantly protected. 6 of Coins, 7 of Wands, the Hierophant. Instantly protected here. What you also need to know, your spiritual authority here, which just take it as it resonates, but what you need to hear is your spiritual authority, especially cosmic galactically, very high. Very high ranking spiritual authority of whatever that may mean for you on your journey. You were protected. You are actually living in your truth. Why Judgment with the Sun card here? Why Judgment with the Sun card? Why 10 of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles here? Someone wanted you to choose. Well, it's like just someone like seeing the way that you're living. And that's what Archangel Michael is saying here. Hangman, a shift in perspective. Archangel Michael protected you from someone who saw the way you were living or just something that you do, something about your path. They really try to control, patrol it, or just have an opinion. And just for some of you, it was their mouth. You were instantly protected from this. Instantly. For this reading from Archangel Michael for the collective, why the Three of Cups and the Eight of Cups here? For this reading, for the ancient souls. You are being brought out of this situation and you're going to be untouched. Archangel Michael, the undefeated archangel of spiritual warfare. You are going to be untouched in this. When I tell you untouched, where I almost see you like in a bubble suit, you know, like bubble wrap, where you may feel yourself going like this, but you'll be fine. Like, you'll be fine. That's what you're fine. You're fine. You'll be fine. You know, it doesn't mean it's comfortable or fun to go through it. You had a group of people, or you had multiple attacks at once. Look at that sword. You were brought to calmer waters in the midst of it. Why the Knight of Swords and the Two of Coins here for this reading from Archangel Michael? Ooh. Oh, you know what I'm hearing? And I know this entire live on Archangel Michael is deprogramming the religious programs of Archangel Michael. The Bible verse, I will give you beauty for ashes. And I forget what Bible verse it is. I will give you, beauty for your ashes. I believe that's how it goes. I will give you beauty for your ashes. Oh my Lord, sweet baby Jesus Christ. What you do need to know is what Archangel Michael is saying here. Listen, Linda, listen. Don't drop into the root of fear. When you know thyself, like you know thyself, you're not questioning your soul path. You know, you may get clarity here and there, this or that. You know thyself. You know why you're here. And you're just continuing the journey home, right? Anything that tries to come up against your truth, Archangel Michael holding that sword of truth, it can only transmute to unconditional love, wealth, prosperity in your name, your benefit, your favor, your highest good. It can only alchemize and transmute into more things, more people, more support, more tools, more resources, more abundance for your journey. So when they try to throw anything your way, it can only instantly transmute into something that can benefit your journey and your soul's truth. That's what I'm seeing here with the Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands over here. Why Judgment card with the Sun card? Why Judgment card with the Sun card over here? You know, it's very interesting. And why the Sun card here? Why the Sun card? You're happy. Was someone trying to say that you weren't happy? It's like, it's interesting here. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Abundance surrounds you. You're happy. I see you celebrating, maybe even surrounded by people. People that reciprocate, people that love you, that see you. And you see in the past, you either had a group of people against you or you had multiple spiritual attacks at once. By the end of this reading, Judgment, the Sun card. Six of Wands, recognition, success, joy, happiness, and that's the judgment upon you. You know, that's what Archangel Michael is saying in this reading today, which we're going to dive deep into that past life. Maybe not as deep as this reading, but we're going to dive into that past life there just to see what that is for you. What Archangel Michael is saying is you do not have to drop into the fear or into the root of fear when you know that's not your highest truth. So when someone says anything, does anything, it can only simply bounce off that sword of truth. It's not your highest truth. You know, again, opinions, there's a lot of things about emotions, opinions, etc. So say, for example, you know, say someone that sees Archangel Michael from a religious perspective. No, they're not supposed to be doing that. They're not supposed to be, I don't know, a witch in the woods frolicking. Actually, that unique soul, that ancient soul, is actually meant to be in the woods frolicking. Like, that is their role, that is their purpose, that is their expression. So you can't call upon Archangel Michael for that, you know, things like that. So I love that reading. You know, basically what that reading is saying is, listen, your soul's truth is the only judgment for you. That's it. You know, let's see. Yeah, let's drop into the comments over here. Where's Segment? Why won't they tell me? Thanks for the reading. Yeah, bless you. We're going to get into this past life. We have orphan persecution. Listen, Linda, listen. Ancient souls, for this reading, what Archangel Michael is saying, to not worry about people's opinions, what they think, etc. Hold your sword of truth and it will bounce back every single time. You holding your sword of truth is an instant return to sender anyway. Not to say not to do return to sender, stuff like that. You know, your path is your path, but instant return to senders. I didn't want anything to say about that. Yes, hello, welcome. We made it. Yes, I believe in Jesus forever, forever. There's this one video of me at 4 years old singing, Jesus loves me, yes I know, for the Bible tells me so, on the Disney cruise or Carnival cruise, something like that. But I'm still for my inner child, me personally, I'm still that little girl on that cruise singing in front of an entire cruise, Jesus loves me, yes I know. That 6-year-old went up and sang it. Yes, exactly. Yes, bring BYOB. Bring your own boundaries. I didn't create that one. That was another high priestess. Bring your own boundaries, because universal law says, not that anything goes, but it's a big, wide, grand world. Gossiping, that fear the truth, yes. Yeah, let's dive now into this past life here. All right, I love this reading from Archangel Michael. Judgment card is within your own heart and soul. You know, your own soul destiny, soul truth. This part here is interesting. This past life that Archangel Michael is trying to channel today. Ace of Wands, you've got the power. So you have the past life card. I grabbed the past life cards. We have trust and faith, Egypt, persecution, and orphan. All right. You were persecuted in a past life, but it feels like you were persecuted in a past life for taking time away from your child. You know, say you had a separation with your spouse or partner and things went sour or south. You know, maybe someone's like, oh, they should be with their kid. And it's like, say in that lifetime you were really trying hard to be with you, you know? Something like that, where it's like, oh. Past life, persecution, orphan, trust and faith, and Egypt. All right. Let's see what this is. So this could resonate with you in some way, shape, or form from this lifetime. It could have to do with children and persecution. Have trust and faith in this situation. You may also have an Egyptian connection. Egypt, ancient Kemet. A lot of cards here. Ooh, this is some masculine energy here. Okay. That's Michael right there. You have King of Pentacles, Justice, Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor. Okay, what some of you just need to know, though, a lot of abundance surrounds you at this time. Very strong energy. But it doesn't feel like that was like for past life. Why do we have past life, persecution, orphan, trust and faith, Egypt? Archangel Michael, for the ancient souls today, why do we have past life, persecution? Why do we have past life, persecution, and orphan? Why do we have past life, persecution, and orphan? It's interesting. I know my face is showing it. It's interesting. We had a reading, I think it was for Pisces, maybe Pisces, similar a few weeks ago. Let me dive a little bit deeper. Why Nine of Swords in reverse for past life, orphan, and persecution? Why Nine of Swords in reverse? Why Nine of Cups for past life, orphan, and persecution? Why past life, orphan, persecution? Could be dealing with the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You don't have to be. But there goes that sword of truth here. In a past life, you either had to be completely separate from your child, or you were the provider, you were the worker. They try to persecute you. Why persecution here and for past life? Yeah, There's a past life conflict or warfare. And it could have been from somewhat like a platonic connection. It could be with the actual, say father and mother of your child in this lifetime, in that past life. Yeah, someone try to throw you spiritual warfare about a child. We have the Strength card over here and the Five of Wands. Why persecution, past life, and the Five of Wands with the Strength card? Archangel Michael is not happy with this person. That's all I'm going to say. And he's not happy in the astral realm. See, there we go. That's the thing. Hermit card, spiritual wisdom, going within, enlightenment. I'll give this example. I'm someone who's very sensitive to energy, and I'm just being led to share this story. Extrasensory perception. Where if someone is talking about me enough, I will start to have dreams, and they will start telling me everything that they're saying. Where it's happened many times for me, where it doesn't matter if you could block me, you could do this, you could do that. In no way, shape, or form am I actually looking to see what you're doing. I'm someone that I'm probably busy. 111 as I say that. I don't got a lot of other things to do. So like I just don't do that. But it's always revealed in my dreams, and it's always true where I've already had 5 situations in my life where it's like I have the dreams, we end up kind of reconnecting, and it turns out they were actually saying those things. They were actually doing those things. I will say be mindful with the astral realm where astral requires discernment, where there's even sometimes like trickster spirits in the astral that will... I once had a dream of a mentor years ago where in the dream someone told me that person's talking bad about you. But I woke up and I was like, I don't think my mentor would actually do that. Like, I think that this is a trickster spirit in my dreams. And that was true, where I have just my own discernment. So with the astral, that's why it's work with Archangel Michael when it comes to the astral. If you are becoming or are gathering more confidence in your inner high priest or priestess, your inner intuition and soul truth, work with Archangel Michael to help you with that. Where again, in that situation, one of them, I knew that dream was not, don't take it at face value. I'm like, nah, this dream, you gotta dive a little bit deeper. That one, I know that that's not the truth. Now, when it comes to this here, someone was talking about you, but again, when it comes to your child, and so in this lifetime, you had a past life situation about this. You were persecuted in a past life regarding a child. However, in this lifetime, I don't see you going through persecution like you did in the other lifetime. I see a lot of abundance. You're protected in this one. And not that you weren't protected in the other one, but you have reclaimed your Archangel Michael sword of truth. So you've reclaimed your inner sword, and you're holding it tight. You're holding it up, and you're not putting it down. 7 of Cups here, the Devil card. What this person was saying and doing, even if it wasn't to your face, it could still, though, in the astral realm, you still feel it. So that's what I'm seeing here, where even if in this lifetime it wasn't like people with torches and this and that, someone had a very strong opinion about you. For some of you, to do with a child, which is, I find it interesting, I don't know. But whatever opinion they had about you, say they're talking to other people about it. Say they're thinking it every single time they see you. Every time they think of you, they think of that strong of like, oh, this, that. That person does this. Did you see what that person did with their kid? They gave them like, I don't know, a red dyed lollipop, I'm just giving that example of just like, in some way, shape, or form, you did still feel this attack. However, what this reading is saying from Archangel Michael is it's actually the person who was trying to persecute you when it comes to children. And that's why it's just kind of, for some of you, you're dealing with an ex-spouse, partner, family member, could just be society, but whatever that this is, you went through it in some way, shape, or form in this lifetime as well. You have reclaimed Archangel Michael's sword of truth, that no weapon formed against you or your household, your children, your life shall prosper. What I do see here is you actually may be the provider You know, and so someone's like, oh, that person's not with their, or that person doesn't see their child, this or that. You know, I'll give the example that I actually know many shamans that live in a completely different country than their child. You know, where are you going to tell that shaman of like, oh, you're a terror, you're not living in your soul purpose? But what if they are? I will. Sarah Lakali of the Blue Rose comes to mind. You know, where was Osiris when Horus was born? You know, where I know those are just mythologies. You know, those are just also stories to help us understand our own consciousness. But it's just not everything is perfect. You know, where the truth of the human experience is, it's very shadowy. And that's where we find the divinity. We find the divinity in clearing of the illusions of, say, broken family homes and systems and coming back home, putting them back together, right, with our own families or this or that. So what I do see is you are someone that actually was doing everything that you had to do. And you're being blessed. And the persecution didn't work over here is what I'm seeing. Why the Three of Wands, Nine of Coins, and the King of Pentacles? You get a fresh, brand new start here, okay? We have the Fool card over here. So you're getting a fresh, brand new start. This definitely was a past life, though, energy that you cleared out. So if you had anything to do with, like, children and back and forth of whether that be a spouse or just people in general, it's clearing out in this lifetime. Why past life persecution and orphan? Why past life persecution and orphan? Yeah, what I'm seeing is someone over here was being sneaky about, we have the Seven of Swords, we have Page of Swords over here, we have the Ace of Swords, we have Four of Swords over here. Yeah, when it comes to, you know, we think of spiritual warfare, it could be many things. Spiritual warfare is not always black magic, you know, in the way that we think of it like a candle. Black magic could also be that person is like really strong in their belief of something that's not true. And now that person's telling other people something that's really not true. Like that's not true or your truth, you know. That could be a form of black magic in itself. You know, where someone feels strong enough of just something that's not true regarding you. And then that's when you feel it in the astral. You know, especially if you're sensitive to energy, you're going to feel it, you know. And so with Archangel Michael, when you come across these things of anyone who's like saying something that's just not true, that's not of your truth, even them thinking something that's not the truth, you hold your sword of truth. And that's what Archangel Michael is saying here. Hold that sword of truth, and that is your protection. Knowing thyself is the best protection. Where people will gaslight or manipulate, or even the love and light manipulate all the time. All the time. You know, of like, say, I'll give that example of like, no, you are not supposed to be, I don't know, a witch or a high priest or priestess or wizard frolicking in the woods. You're not supposed to do that. You know, and then they'll throw out everything they know in the book, you know, to try to make you, try to distort your third eye, right, of what your soul's truth is. That's the only thing, mystery school truth, the only thing that you're meant to do in this lifetime is live your soul's truth and to express it. And then all of us just walking us home together, and that's it. Ah, yes, I love that Earth Angel, you beautiful Earth Angel. It's hard keeping your heart open in this world. The strongest thing that you can do is to keep your heart open. I think it's easier to become like a bad person than to remain in your own integrity and balance. It means that you allow your heart to break, right? How do people become whatever, cold or this or that? By not feeling, by turning off certain emotions. When you allow yourself to open completely again and again, that's true strength right there. Yeah, to not become jaded. Atomic artwork. I've been called demonic or shadowy by church type because of spiritual beliefs and practices. Yeah, let me tell you, like when I step into sometimes the church, I just see so many like from a Reiki perspective, someone who has, and I'm not saying anything is bad. I think anyone's path is a beautiful path. But like say someone who's very, very indoctrined with religious programs and beliefs, they can't even see how blocked they are. Where, you know, like they're just seeing through that eye, but I'm just seeing so much illusion and this and that. Cords, patriarchal cords just all over, you know, etc. Especially with religion, where religion does create blockages and cords. We're always coming back home to a higher truth, to one truth. And not that religion's bad. You know, all of us also have our own paths. You know, so say for example, I've gotten this a lot where it's like, you're not supposed to be on that path. I don't know, Kemetic or this or that. Kemetic is not just the one way. You know, was I meant to take that path? Yes. And it helped me. It changed my entire life. You know, where like, again, for example, I was told by everybody, even my family disowned me for a whole year, the church, where I was literally kicked out. And I mean, holding a cross and like, you know, you cannot enter this house. And I just, you know, went away for a year, was on my path. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, of what the truth is, right? It's also not to say that someone's not meant to be in the lineage that they're in. You know, it's all consciousness. So say you're walking a walk. I've fully walked the Kemetic walk. So I'm an initiated Kemetic high priestess. Doesn't mean that that's the one way, one truth, one life. You know, you could take that walk. All religions, all lineages are just to come back home to yourself. You know, to share these different ways that resonate with other people. But, you know, say for someone to say like, no, you're not in oneness if you're whatever, if you were only in that lineage. That's not necessarily true. You know, it's the I would say to look at someone to say that their path, you know, that what they're doing is wrong in itself is also not to be in oneness. You know, we're just here to exist amidst so many different truths, you know. And that's at least how I see it. We're here to come home to ourselves, walking each other home, and seeing through the eyes of innocence, of beauty, and having that integrated shadow, right? The healthy ego to protect you as we are in a duality realm. Yes, I love the conversations. I love that everyone's talking to each other in the comments below too. Hi, Andre. How are you? Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for being here. Yeah. And there's a quote. You are what you pay attention to. Sometimes you are what you fear. And I've seen that with certain things, especially with the snake thing. Oh my God. It's evil. It's this. It's that. It's just a serpent has to do with the creation of the universe. You know, we're in the year of the serpent, the snake. And so I just find a lot of those things very interesting. I find that the more you fear anything, the more of it you're denying in yourself. And that's also just a mystery school truth. You know, that anything you deny without of you, law of correspondence, you know, so within, so without, as above, so below. There's something there to learn. You know, so I'm someone that I may, BYOB, bring your own boundaries. You know, but while I have my own boundaries, I'm not necessarily denying that other realities exist. You know, there's certain things that I wouldn't do. But have fun walking home, you know, whatever that is for you. Over their own, maybe even envy over their own bloodline. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes people will like look at someone's DNA and, oh yeah. Or it's your own bloodline, you know, that there are such things as lower vibrational ancestors, say family systems, right? That generational curse breaker, that scapegoat, the chosen one. Their own lineage goes up against them, you know, while they're just trying to create heaven on earth, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Joseph. And you remind me of I'm very thankful that I had a death experience. I've almost near-deathed a lot. I've had a lot of NDEs, over 10 of them, from the age of 8. You know, where my first house, Scorpio 1 degrees, Chiron, so I've had a lot of near-death experiences from the age of 8 and on, near-death over 10 times, between 10 to 20, random things, overdoses, you know, whatever you could think of maybe happened. But with that, I had an NDE, but in a shamanic ceremony. So with the one that we're all, the toad, okay, the toad, the frog. This was the first year my son was born. And this taught me about, it's us humans that fear the separation of our child. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm just going to share my experience where before my son turned 1 year old, I had a shamanic ceremony, and it was the one where your ego is like completely goes, you know. And I just remember being on the medicine, and I remember thinking, I'm going to die. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die, you know. And I started running from the shaman on the medicine. So also just, I love my shaman. I love you. When I'm on the medicine, I'm strong and I'm small. I'm 5'3", less than 120 pounds. I'm stronger than I look. Where my shaman has a hard time with me when I'm on medicine, so he usually has someone to come help us. I get very strong. I started running from my shaman in the medicine. He was chasing me, trying to hold me down, because I'm on medicine. And I just remember thinking, my son, I can't leave my son. Like, I'm not leaving this earth. What do you mean? You know, so you think of, as a parent, right, as a mother, father, that moment when you're like, you really think you're going to die. And I mean, like, you really think that you're going to. If you were to have those few seconds of, oh, crap, I may not be here, what would you think of? And for me, the only thing I thought of was nothing and nobody else but my son. I said, no, my son, my son, my son. A bright white light came into my face, and that's all I saw. And it was a deep masculine voice. That's not your son. That's my son. And as soon as I heard that voice, I left my body. You could see on the video, I don't have the video anymore, but you saw that I just went limp. I went to the reality of the duality reality. The duality, right, of heaven. The reality, though, it's your reality of heaven. And I experienced like a Mother Mary experience where I felt like Mother Mary. I was in non-duality of this heaven realm where the only thing was love, you know. And so that's why, like, human opinions and judgments, since I had that experience, I understand it. Parts of me don't, you know. I have been, and many of us have had those experiences too, where we've been to the reality of non-duality. We've been to that realm already, you know. And to have experienced no duality, no human emotion, no mental thought other than love, you know, that changed my life, but it also changed me as a mother, where I had less fear as a mother, you know. And I will say my son's protected. Like, my son, like, I've had something at school where, like, his own teacher told on another teacher, you know, where my son is protected. So I just don't worry of those things. But yeah, that separation of mother and child, that's something that Mother Mary also had. So Mother Mary is actually coming through now, where Mother Mary had to let go of Jesus. At the age of 12, Mother Mary couldn't find him. Where was Jesus? Jesus ran away. Yahweh ran away at the age of 12, and Mother Mary found him somewhere far off, talking to gurus and teachers, because he already knew his purpose. Yeshua, Jesus. Mother Mary, as a mother, naturally is going to be worried in the humanness. That 12-year-old was meant to go talk to those gurus. He'll be fine. You see where I'm going with that, though? Where a lot of our fears as mothers and fathers, some of them is real. So it's also the discernment of, like, hey, don't touch that hot stove because I'm going to have to take you to the hospital, you know? And then also there's certain things as mothers and fathers perhaps we don't need to fear. You know, especially when it comes to separation. That's something that Mother Mary had to master. And I know nothing, but that experience, again, my son is now closer to more of the 10-year-old mark. So he's beyond 5 years old. But that first year, I had a shamanic ceremony. I had a near-death experience where I went to heaven, and I had to leave my son behind. And in heaven, I had turned into Mother Mary, and God gave me instructions as a mother. And I just always knew that my motherhood wasn't going to feel like someone else's, you know, where I just naturally do have less fear, you know, of just certain things, you know, like it still comes up. It's always going to come up. We're humans, but our mothers and fathers really meant to be in fear as much as we are. That's something even Mother Mary and Joseph didn't do. They knew their son's soul mission and purpose. And so they were not in fear. You know, and not to say again there wasn't human emotions of how do you think Mother Mary felt? You know, knowing that her child would take such a walk. As a mother, you could, I don't want to say wasting time, you know, but like she could have dropped into the emotional state, the root, and I'm sure that she did, right? They say that Mother Mary was actually a high priestess. And so all these truths are just coming through now to Mystery School week 2. But Mother Mary, they actually say that she was a priestess and that she came from a priestess lineage, which is why she knew that she was going to bear or birth a holy child. She had already gone through some teachings in Mystery School. They also say Mother Mary was a young mother, and that, you know, Archangel Gabriel, I think it was, told her of the instructions, right? And I believe, though, that although the Bible's exoteric, that is the future of motherhood, fatherhood, and parenthood. We will know what our child is meant for. And so we could still worry of like, oh, just don't get hurt physically, you know? But we also just know their path. And their true mother and father is the divine mother and father. We are embodying those energies as, you know, their mothers, their chosen physical mothers and fathers. So just long story short, I do think that's how parenting is going to shift, you know, new earth parenting in the future. But yeah, also when it comes to children, you know, are we actually really meant to be in such fear as we are? You know, when we look at the holy lineage, Yeshua wasn't even around to raise Sarah Kali, the daughter of Yeshua or Jesus. Which, does she exist? We don't know. Mystery School is yes, she did. You know, Isis raised Horus without, you know, Shiva. I'm thinking of the story of Shiva that I was just reading again the other day. That was hilarious to me. Parvati yelled at Shiva because Shiva was too busy meditating and wasn't active in the house. Where Shiva was meditating so much that as a mother, Parvati got so mad. Parvati was like, excuse me, sir, you're imbalanced. Okay, you're meditating a lot. And this is a true story. Go look up in the Hindu mythology of Parvati and Shiva. But when Parvati gets mad at Shiva and she turns into Kalima. So Parvati gets mad that he's meditating for so long. And she turns into Kali. And she's just like, excuse me, you're a father. There's balance here. Stop meditating and help me in the house. And that's a Hindu story. So I think that story is funny too. I was reading it the other day again, and I just started laughing when I read it. Yes. One common thread. I love that. I am a Pisces. Yes, I'm a Pisces. I'm a Pisces stellium. I'm a 12th house stellium. So it's just a whole lot of Piscean themes over here. If we souls are having a human experience, why do we fear death? Because they forgot about the ancient truths and they made you fear it. You know, they say the Egyptian proverb, right? Is it the greatest thing is to die while alive? I don't know, something like that. And I do think that's true though, where when we release that fear, we're so much more alive. And that's everyone's fear, right? Is like death. But when we can experience that and transcend that, we are so much more alive. You know, we get so much more actually out of the human experience. Bars, yeah. My whole life was a roller coaster. Andre, you're short, but your energy is massive. Yeah. I grew up playing basketball, and I grew up though as a kid playing basketball. It was funny that everyone thought I was going to be tall, and then I ended up being a point. I started off as a forward, like as a kid. By the time everyone went through puberty, I was a point guard because I stopped growing. Yes, I love that, Jaden Griffith. Everyone here, if you're watching this live video, you're blessed and everything will work out. Everything will work out. If you are here, you are blessed. All right, let's get some closing messages on this Archangel Michael reading. I love that. Just the confirmations, you know, your soul's truth is your soul's truth. Knowing thyself, that's your sword of truth, and that is your protection. Safe space on the bottom of the deck. She was high rank. Yes, they say, well, some of them say that Sarah Tamar was her name, that she posed as a servant. Some say it was Sarah La Kali, and so the story of Sarah Tamar goes so deep, where it's just a mystery. It's like, but who was the blue rose holder? Was it Sarah Tamar? Was it Sarah La Kali? Who was she? Go Shiva. Yeah. Yeah, I read that, it was yesterday, where I just started laughing out loud. Parvati turned into Kali because she just got so mad at Shiva. Because he just wouldn't stop meditating. And she was just like, these duties are imbalanced over here. I cannot be mom and then everything else too. And then she turned into Kali on Shiva. And then Shiva understood. Exactly. And that's also why I love going live. I would go live very impromptu, randomly. My son's going back to school now, all right? There was no summer camp this summer, okay? So we're back to school now as of next week. And that's just going to open up some time for me to be a little bit more live, where this summer for me, I was very present in the home. I was in my Parvati energy this summer. But as school does come back, I'm going to be live a little bit more. And I love that when we go live, everyone's expressing themselves. Everyone's talking to one another, etc. And that's true. Depression comes from a lack of expression. If you're not expressing yourself, it stays inside. And those cause symptoms of depression, of grief, of this, of that. Because you're not able to move around energy. We're meant to move energy, and so that could be through dance, through movement, through speaking, through expression, through creating. Thank you for being here, Ja. Blessings to you, Earth Angel, ×3. Yeah, thank you for being here, Mario. Thank you for being here, Denzel. So we are going to be closing out just this talk on Archangel Michael. We went over just about everything. For anyone else who wants to dive deeper, Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Blue Rose Mystery School. We're diving deep there. There's an algorithm here. There is not an algorithm on Patreon. So we're diving deep on Patreon, where we're going to be doing weekly rituals, weekly teachings. Right now in Patreon, we are diving deeper into the Archangel Michael teachings, as well as Nikita. Nikita is kind of like an occult angel of wealth, prosperity, abundance, etc. So if you want to dive deeper into sigils, each week there's a new lesson. So whether it's a symbol, a sigil, a god, whatever it is, infinite wisdom on patreon.com/Blue Rose Mystery School. And we're going to be doing even rituals together, etc. It's only $33 USD a month, so just feel free to join in by going to, the link should be in the bio too, the description box below. But my intention in creating that Blue Rose online mystery school, which is patreon.com/Blue Rose Mystery School, is to make the esoteric wisdom more accessible. Where esoteric really is initiation. Expand your consciousness, boom. Esoteric is initiation, where you have to be initiated. Now, we're not coming though from the place of, you have to sit here for 40 years and give away your whole life to be initiated. That's just not the highest truth. Where we have expanded, Gaia, all of us have ascended way beyond that. Esoteric is initiation through symbolism, through mystical initiation, direct experiences with God. You could have an experience with an ancient one, so that's another person who has ancient energy that's very initiative. That's what esoteric is, which again, most people, like in the past would spend, I've spent over $10,000 over 5 years. Yes, I have, with the certifications, the trainings, all of that. Oh yeah, I've spent thousands of hours. It's been over 1,000 hours for sure of initiation of mystery school where I did walk the walk, um, and I did it for over like 5 years, where it's just for the rest of my life. Like when you're a shaman, anyone, like this is just an infinite walk home. Then maybe you'll take a walk, maybe you'll walk a system, etc. So I've walked the Kemetic system. I've spent a lot of time in Tantra, a lot of time in shamanism, a lot of apprenticing of different shamanic medicines. Um, a lot of that work was for free, where I've probably worked for free for hundreds and hundreds of hours. So past lifetimes, this lifetime, I've done that. I forgot where we were even going with that. But with that, I don't want you to do that. That's where we're going with that. I don't want you to have to do that. Where, like I've shared my story, I'm a single, mom. I don't like the word single mom. I'm a mother. And yeah, where I had really walked away from an entire life and was just with my son and just learning this stuff, where I was attending an Ivy League when I got pregnant with him, so I went to school. I left an entire life, tried to go back to school. Long story short, my soul destiny led me to the high priestess path. And I would treat it like a school, so I did over thousands of hours of studying, thousands and thousands of dollars. Basically, let's not make it that hard on you. Let's just, I wish that there were some high priests and priestesses that had their Patreons, that had like a mystery school that was, I don't know, $200 a month. Where back in the day, even 10, 15 years ago, you were going to expect to spend $30,000. Still to this day, you could go to certain countries, you have to spend $5,000 or more, However, and what was it that I said in our week 1 of mystery school? I think I said there's no gatekeeping at all. The gate opens wide open when you come with an open heart and an empty mind, of what you think the truth is, right? And you come with an open heart, the ways that you've been closed off, and it flings open the esoteric gate. That's what I like to say, where it's not necessarily gate kept. Approach whatever, the mysteries, the esoteric, with an open mind, rather an empty mind, that you're just ready to receive, to shift perspectives, and an open heart. And the gates, they open wide open. So that's why I created patreon.com/Blue Rose Mystery School. The things that really do cost tens of thousands of dollars, years of study, this or that, we are all ancient souls awakening. Even for me, where I was always the youngest in my group, so I did start the journey young, which I'm happy I did, and I didn't start it like later on in life. But yeah, where was I going with that? Like being the youngest one in the group. Oh, that the high priestess is within you. Do we have to be initiated? That's another story. I'm not going to have like that conversation here, where some people will say yes. At the end of the day, God is your initiator. Life is the mystery school. God initiates you, and that's the highest truth. Then yes, you could be initiated by other people and what is in resonance with you. So if it resonates, if it's aligned, then do it. At the end of the day though, God initiates you. You initiate yourself. And so my intention was to create self-initiations where, I've even been to high priests or priestesses where I'm just like, I can see way more, or this or that, or they would tell me, no, it's going to take you 10 years. It did not take me 10 years, or this or that. So making it more accessible. Reading the comments here. Health is wealth. Yes. Extraterrestrial. Yeah, you never know. The path to enlightenment is not for the weak. No, it requires us to constantly rebirth 144, to constantly slay the ego of what we thought it is, what we thought it was, what we thought it should be, who we thought that we were, etc. Slaying the ego on a daily basis. But yeah, this actually came out earlier too, and I'll just close off with this as we'll grab some closing messages from Archangel Michael 144. The other live we did also ended at 144. So when it comes to Archangel Michael, or just in general, I want to find like the perfect words, not the perfect words, but the way it wants to be channeled to. They will hide wisdom from you. Wisdom. That's always how it's been. The greatest attack to keep you from your power is hiding wisdom. Wisdom that can benefit you. We see this in the medical system, in the Western medical system, where actually herbs are very healing. So why don't we have the access to them? Information, just information alone can make you a millionaire. Information alone can cure you from incurable diseases. So why do they withhold information from us? You know, when it comes to mystery school teachings, almost every government was built off of occultism or mystery school teachings. Every banking system is built off of these systems. So if every system that we use in society is built off of these mystery school ancient teachings, why are they telling us that it's bad? Why are they telling us that aliens are bad? I believe that, you know, when it comes to aliens, they're just talking about star seeds, and they want you to fear your star seed lineage. They want you to fear the serpent that represents wisdom. They want you to fear the things that will actually help you. You know, and so I really do think, not even I think all of us can really feel in the collective that the ancient mystery schools are really returning to Earth, to this Gaia plane. The mystery schools' remembrance and truths are coming back home within us, are awakening within us, within our hearts, within our souls, our throats, our wombs. These ancient mysteries, your ancient mysteries, are awakening through you, and they're expressed through you. Yes, the greatest commodity is information and wisdom. All right, now let's get some closing messages from Archangel Michael. So just remember, you can use these sigils. We have this sigil here. You can go on Google, print them out, copy them out, I don't know, glue them on candles or this or that. We also have this sigil. Each of these sigils can work for Archangel Michael. These here. So just feel free to Google them. You could use them in your work, even just meditating upon them. Again, that's like the esoteric, is just seeing a symbol, you know, meditating upon it. So I'm going to grab some closing messages. What do we have for all sides for the ancient souls to close out this Blue Rose Mystery School teaching on Archangel Michael? Knowing thyself is your protection. Archangel Michael is the undefeated angel of spiritual warfare. He's an angel of death, right? Of fire. There we go, fire over here. He's an angel of fire. He is the element of fire. He's associated with the south. Now you do have a lot of cards here. We do have Star Maiden, we have Pele, we have Isis, and then Thoth over here. So I'm going to put them back. Just grab one message. I'm going to grab from 3 different decks for what are the 3 messages that you need to hear the most right now. As always, thank you so much for being here today. We're going to be going live again for free next week, week 3, for week 3 Blue Rose Mystery School. Divine Mother and Father, Holy Spirit of God, for the ancient souls, for all signs. There we go. Fire energy. All right, Pele, light your fire. We have Isis, sacred contracts over here. Archangel Michael, right? If we know him as just a love and light, and that's just all of us, right? Sometimes people see fire as a shadow. Archangel Michael is also passionate. Archangel Michael is fiery. And it's sacred. It is sacred to own your fire. Archangel Michael has duality, so do we. Archangel Michael is fire. He's an angel of truth. He's also an angel of death. You know, and so Archangel Michael is also saying for you to own your fire. When you're owning your inner fire, that fire within your soul, you're honoring the Archangel Michael within you and without of you. For some of you, you do have a sacred contract with Archangel Michael is also what's coming through. We have Isis, sacred contracts, Pele, light your fire over here. Hello. Oh, happy Saturday evening in Norway. Eric, when you wrote greatest asset, I thought of Osset, like of Isis here. For the ancient souls, for this mystery school teaching on Archangel Michael, why do we have Pele, light your fire, Isis, sacred contracts? Fire! I love all of the fire over here. Yeah, Archangel Michael is not all love and light. He's just a pure ball of fire over here. He is represented by the sun, and his day is Sunday. So this Sunday, if you could do something for Archangel Michael, that would be great. We have serpent of fire, priestess of the serpent sisterhood. But confirmation, though, of that serpent energy, right? Wisdom. Serpent fire also represents the balancing of masculine and feminine energy, the kundalini energy within us. You know, and so in general, Archangel Michael is very balanced in his light and his dark. All right, but also you owning your fire. All right, that too, yes. Now, what do we have for Serpent of Fire, Pele, light your fire, and Isis, sacred contracts for this Archangel Michael Mystery School teaching? Higher heart opening over here. And then you do have baby. All right, maybe some of you, it's a spirit baby. It could be someone that you call baby. Why do we have higher heart opening over here from Archangel Michael? Wealth surrounds you. All right. Wealth surrounds you. Higher heart opening. So some of you could be going through that higher heart opening. That's the heart, the higher heart above our heart over here. For some of you, intuitively, the back of the heart is coming to mind. And so cleansing your back or the back of the heart can cleanse old emotional wounds, grief, etc. And you have wealth that surrounds you. All right. So that's what I have for you today. I will see all of you ancient souls next week for week 3 of Blue Rose Mystery School. We're going to be going over the Neteru next week. So we're going to be talking about the Neteru within and without of us, what Ma'at truly is. So ancient Kemeticism, which we're diving deeper than the Greece, Rome, Egypt. We're like, Osiris is not his original name. Asar, there's probably even an older name than Asar. There's Wasire, there's just so many different names. So we're going to dive deep into ancient Kemeticism next week, next Saturday. All right, but as always, thank you so much for being here today. Feel free to drop in that comment below, the comment box below, the blue hearts and the swords for Arch. All right, there we go. I love it. All right, we all have a piece of the puzzle. Just find the others. I love it. The like-minded ones, the ones that are aligned. Yes, may you receive and receive and receive all that is in alignment with your soul's truth, your soul mission, and your soul purpose. Yes, I love and appreciate you too. Bye for now.